Can you imagine being 4,286 miles away from the person you love most? Well, up until December 13th, 2023, that was my life. Visiting my longtime girlfriend in Hawaii for the first time since her leaving was one of the most nerve-wracking experiences for me ever. After months of planning, days of packing, and hours of double-checking that everything was in order the night before my flight, the nerves began to settle in as I tried to get some rest but couldn't. I really couldn't believe I was going to fly across the country to see her again. After a night of no sleep, I loaded my bag into the car and my family got together to drive me down to the airport. I couldn't believe that any of this was real. I made it down to the airport and my mom helped me unload my bag from the car and roll into the check-in desk. But on my way to the check-in desk, my head began to spin and I began to feel lightheaded. I couldn't stand up straight without holding on to my mom. After completing check-in, I got together with my family one last time to say goodbye. I headed to the TSA line with my mom and I turned to her and I said, "Mom, I'm scared. I'm really going to miss you." She turned back and told me, "You have nothing to be scared of. You're going to be okay." As I headed through the TSA and was flying for the first time, 4,000 miles away from home, all by myself. Sitting there waiting for my boarding group to be called, knowing that once I stepped onto this plane, there was no turning back. I was on it no matter what. I boarded and I headed to my seat. I fastened my seatbelt. I thought about my family and how much I was going to miss them. Slowly, I realized I began to move and they put us on a runway. The next thing I knew, we were dashing down the runway and getting altitude faster than I could ever imagine. We were above the clouds in less than 5 minutes. I couldn't help but think that I'm stuck on this thing for the next 11 hours and nothing I can do about it. My nerves began to settle in even more. Nothing I could do could calm them down. My hands began to shake and my vision got blurry. Finally, the pilot came over the intercom and announced there was 15 minutes before we landed. That's when everything up to this point had finally come over me. My hands began to shake more than ever, my heart started racing and pounding, felt like it was going to come out of my chest, vision got blurry, and I just couldn't handle it anymore. I got up and I went to the restroom, tried to brush my teeth and just freshen up before we landed. I headed back to my seat and just tried to calm down. Next thing I knew, we landed and chaos ensued as everyone tried to get their carry-on luggage, but I managed to squeeze by with my backpack and darted out of the plane. As I got out, the breeze and the smell of the ocean came over me. It was out of this world. I put that aside in order to find Riley. Finally, the moment I saw her, everything was worth it. All my nerves went away and everything up to this point in my journey had been worth it.